Recently, your remarks on the Bangladesh's elections that you know the controversy has risen because the government thought that it is an internal affairs of Bangladesh, but your remarks was it's, it sounds the similar like the United States or other European countries, who they are openly criticizing the quality of the elections, but in Japan or China or neighboring India, never seen this free and frank opinion. But this time you have given this. Do you think this is in line with the Americans' voice or your partners' voice you have raised the recent controversial
No, I think
remarks?
I'm representing my own country.
So,
So I didn't criticize this country at all. I just provided my view, expecting that the general election next year or early 2024 will be better election, free and fair election. So that is our strong hope and expectation. The next one will be free and fair and participatory election.
but you have mentioned the last election was in the previous night vote rigging and etc. Which government? I think the government has discussed with you about your remarks on the election quality. Did government has as because the foreign office said they have discussed about these issues with you?
I just registered my hope and expectation. So that is the only thing I really wanted to stress.
That's
But the important thing is next election will be better election.
that- yes.
So I think your government can do to make next election a better one. So free, fair, participate. So that is my hope and expectation.
That's true.
And in light of what election commission is doing, and in light of the the preparations underway, so I'm sure that next one is going to be a better election. But
I think if you have discussed with BNP as well, the government and the election commission, what you are saying that the next election will be better.
and I don't think I should disclose what I talked with political parties or election commission. But my hope is that next one will be better, and next one will be free and fair and participatory election.
So how Japan will cooperate Bangladesh in the enormous challenge facing Bangladesh in the future days are coming, in the greater trade and investment flows, transfer of technology, fighting climate change, sharing experience in developing skill. Those are the main challenges Bangladesh is facing in the days are coming. How Japan will come forward with this to face these challenges.
So
And also one of the big issues which is very tough for Bangladesh, and that is the Rohingya crisis. What is the Japan's role at this moment? Because it's a very tough thing, it's very complex things at this moment. This Burmese government is not very willing, despite the putting pressure on the international community.
human resources development in Bangladesh is very important. This is a critical area. You need to work on, and we stand ready to extend our cooperation. So in a way, the software of economy is very important. Human resources development, institutional building. So those are very important areas you need to deal with to bring about further acceleration of economic growth and to make the most of the population dividend of this country. You have a young population, but soon your working age population will be less than half of the entire population. You have only 10, 12 years to go. So, within the decade, you really need to provide opportunities of skills development, education for young folks, so that those young labor force will be ahead of the curve of technological development. That's a challenge, but that's something Bangladesh need to cope with. So Japan will be willing to extend cooperation to this human resources development area, institution building area, particularly in the manufacturing sector, industrial development. You talked about the Rohingya crisis.
Right.
This is a very, I think, difficult issue right now. But first of all, really would like to commend the efforts done by Bangladesh. You took very humanitarian gesture.
Right.
At the beginning, you opened up the border and you allowed them in and you provided the shelter for Rohingya refugees. But 5 years have passed after the influx of large number of people from Myanmar. So this issue or this crisis has been a very big burden for you.
Yes.
So we understand the level of frustration your government, your politicians, your officials, people in the host community have. So we will try our best to alleviate your burden in dealing with this crisis. So first and foremost, important is the repatriation to
Yes.
create enabling environment for repatriation. As part of such effort, Japan has been taking opportunities to send messages to military junta Myanmar. So 3 points we are telling them: stop violence, release all those detained, restore the democratic process. So with the improvement of situation inside Myanmar, in particular Rakhine State, I think there will be an enabling environment. That sort of effort can be instrumental in enabling environment of repatriation. But it may take time. So in parallel to this, the critical thing is to improve the situation inside the camp as well as Cox's Bazar. Refugee population need to lead purposeful life rather than sit and idle. So on this vein, 3 things are important: education, skills development, livelihood opportunities, both in Cox's Bazar camp and Bashang Chao. So Japan will continue to provide assistance for that. Japan was the first country which funded UN operation in Bashang Chao in January. So we provided funding in January, we provided funding in August, and last week we signed the agreement with UNFPA. So UNHCR, WFP, UNFPA, so those 3 organizations we have already funded. So we will continue this. But if you look at the total contribution to Rohingya operation this fiscal year, our funding is going to be larger than last year's. So under the economic crisis, global basis, the Ukrainian situation, in spite of all of those, Japan is going to increase its funding to operation in Cox's Bazar and Bashang Chao compared to last year. So I think that is the demonstrating the Japan's commitment towards Rohingya issue. The resolution of Rohingya is very critical for the peace and stability and prosperity of entire region.